Uh, hey guys, what's going on? I'm back for another episode of our podcast. AI made our podcast. Here with me, Favian Ryan, and we have a special guest today joining us. An old friend of mine, a very long friend of mine, Jacky. We are talking about AI versus gaming today. Uh, the reason why we brought on Jacky is because he's actually working on a game with me. This game is a very big game using monster catching capture system, potential romance, kind of like similar like a Digimon, Palmon kind of a merge. But we decided to bring him along, invite him in here, just to talk about the gaming because he likes games. We all like games, and we believe that he is the best to talk about it. Uh, so let's Ryan kick us off. What's your experience with AI and gaming? Could be either or. It could be both. What's your experience with that?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I just want to say I have absolutely zero knowledge of gaming and AI involved, and I'll explain to you why. Because I only play games. I don't make games. It's unheard of AI creating games. I can somewhat see it happening already, but I don't hear as much as I think. But that doesn't mean it's a bad topic to discuss, because who knows what happens. Because if you think about it, in terms of, I'll speak on the business side of things. It's a potential game changer, but again, both negatively and positively. There's always the good and the bad. The way I look at it, it's kind of like we all know where games come from. They come from game developers, software engineers. They develop these games that we play on like Steam, our Switch, our PlayStation, our Xboxes. Like those games come from them. As far as AI creating a game, it's kind of like in between. I'm like in between. Like, okay, it has to be good. Can it be good as a human developed game? Is the question. Because we don't know that. I don't know if there's any AI games out there really, but that's the way I look at it. And I'll tell you this too: it's just AI has definitely changed our world a lot, especially in the job world, especially game development. I don't know how much the industry of game developing will be impacted, but certainly it can definitely certainly feel that way, that we might face an impact, but we don't know when. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, Jackie, what's your thoughts? As a game developer on our game, what's your thoughts about it?
Hey everyone, I'm Jacky. Nice to meet you all. My thoughts on this topic here, it's relatively simple. Actually, AI cannot replace human just yet in game development, because the fact that if you ask it part of code or part of a function you would like to accomplish, it can tell you. And however, it does not test the errors for you, and nor let plan out everything for you. If you don't have a plan in your head to begin with, then it cannot just build something out of scratch and assume that's gonna meet your requirement, because you won't. AI cannot replace human in that speak. While on the other hand, AI does come in a lot of programming and sometimes even resource for arts right now. For example, it's websites that allows you to basically to buy resources from other people, and these people are creating it through AI. We call them freelancer and such. They do seems to have their limitations, but on the other hand, it's still a great tool and resource for helping us developing a game, especially when you're lack of people or human resource in this case.
Yeah, I actually agree. AI won't be able to place humans fully. But there is vibe coding out there, which is essentially AI websites that use AIs. You can tell it a prompt and it'll generate like a whole thing for you. Uh, I've seen like videos of it or like some articles of it too. It's like there's websites you can make whole websites of it. Are they good? I don't know. I haven't tested it on. But you can literally generate like whole entire websites from a single prompt, and it's crazy. So why not AI can do that? But in terms of, yeah, as Jacky said, right, the error checking and like arts and stuff like that, AI can't replace it fully. Depending on your style, AI won't be able to replace it fully. A YouTube video I saw a couple of years ago actually showed the person using ChatGPT to create a game. They did it successfully, but the human still had to fix the errors and said so. The AI didn't replicate the game fully, meaning that there are still limitations to it, and AI won't be able to, create that fully as well.
But then, like, it brings me to discussion, though. The way I look at it, I sometimes, like, wonder, like, does this, like, you said, like, GBT created the game, but human had to, like, recorrect some of the errors. That makes me question, like, all right, so if you're gonna use AI to create a game, I'll let you both answer this, whichever you two. If AI were to create a game, but then a human still have to supervise it, does this role become, from a business perspective, does this become a part-time role instead of being a full-time role? Especially, like, the way I look at it, full-time roles is like you're doing everything hands-on, like 100%. But if it's like a half and half situation, or even 75-25 percentage, where the AI is doing the work and then the human's just doing the last minute touches, will this, at this point, there be a need to have a full-time game developer, but instead force only a part-time game developing role? Because, like, what is there to spend full-time on if you're going to be only using AI tools to create the game? Just saying.
Actually, I do still need full-time developers because of the thought of the developers. For example, our game, mine and Jacky's, we're creating the version fusion of Power World and Digimon, which was Jacky's idea. And even though we can tell the well, technically it was you and my idea, but mostly yours, Jacky. But we can tell that to the AI, but then the AI might not get what we mean from it, and so that's where we actually have to have hands-on experience on it, like actually code it ourselves. But we just use AI to confirm, double check, proofread our code essentially. Me and Jacky had like some sessions where that already happened, right, Jacky?
Yes, actually, I will speak a bit further on that topic. The fact that we're using AI does not mean that we could be part-time, because the fact that AI's advantage is on helping the APIs, which is the structure of like the keywords and the structure of the language, which you might not, like, one person might not already know. So you ask them for a keyword, you ask them how to write this thing, but their outcome comes out although fast, still is full of errors. Without you sitting there and correcting the errors, you just try to put down every code. Like, first, you won't know what code you want without you telling them. Second, you won't know is its code correct or false without you feeding back. So technically, yes, we still need one person to always sit there to do this part of the job. It just makes the code faster, but it does not make, like, it makes the code faster and makes you not needing to learn every single keyword and how the language structure works. But it also, on the other hand, does not, like, replace human, because it only speeds up the process, exclude your learning experience. That's pretty much it.
Wasn't there one moment, Jacky, that we literally used a ChatGPT to assist us with something that we didn't understand? That goes back to the learning Ryan as well, right? We can use AI to like teach us stuff like that. But yeah, wasn't there like a time, Jacky, we used AI and like it completely gave us something entirely wrong, and we're like, what the heck is it giving us?
Yeah, it's not that reliable. At least the module we're using. maybe there's more advanced AI, but AI that could, fully understood us is not there yet.
I got a question for you both. Given that you two are like game savvy, you guys I love game developing. You guys clearly have a passion for it. I have a very, again, I don't know if this question will become controversial. Do you think that if a well-trained AI model specifically for gaming development gets used one of those big companies that produces these console games, we're talking about Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, EA, like all these game companies that we all are aware of, if they were to somewhat 90%, hypothetically, if they 90% use AI only, with 10% human work, is this a sign of danger for passionate game developers?
I'm gonna say no, because I think it still requires the person to think creatively, giving the AI the prompt, right? That goes back to the prompt engineering, to essentially put their creativity into the AI so that the AI can generate on that behalf. But Jacky was mentioning before about the arts and stuff like that, and the style. I don't think AI could fully replace, because you still need the art style, the artist's style for the game. Say like it's a medieval classical game, right? Even though if an AI did generate using all those like images generators out there, it might not be perfect to the style that they want. Jacky can attest to that.
Even if it's well trained.
Even it's well trained, yes. Well, I have my thoughts similar to Fabian in this case, but I have some extra things I want to say. It won't be a danger to developers, because for developers, we go, yay, we got a new tool, let's use it. We got a new tool to assist us. Developers, it's on ideas and not the product. The danger you become danger, however, to the artists and other things. Because the artist, for example, if the AI generate 90% of the content and it fully replace the artist, well, here comes the problem. They're gonna have training data, right? So this data they're using to train is gonna cause the result to look somewhat like the data. This will become all similar, results in the end. There's no new art style produced once that happens. So it become a danger to the artist instead. That will make majority of the artists either go, oh no, I need to have a new style, or oh no, the AI could replace me.
I think that's where AI versus passion can come in too, right? It's like if you're passionate about it, they can't really get rid of the style. Yeah, AI, a well-trained model, usually takes the information from those pools of like art and generates a style similar to it. But a well-trained artist, the one that's passionate for it, will be able to make a whole entire style that's completely different, right? AI
About that, I do have to speak example. Here's a problem. There's a case of an artist who is constantly being used as AI data sample basis. His art style is, because he's being used as training data, so everyone sees his art style so much. There's one point when he drew himself, like he himself drew the image and used it on game. Yes, this is a real life situation that happened in a game in China actually. When he drew out the image, everyone say it looked like AI. So AI actually took over the spot for almost replace what the artist was. People are thinking instead of the AI coming from artists, they're thinking that this artist is not. There's no artist. It's just AI, which is very dangerous as content creators, like artists who has their own style.
And here's the thing, that's what's scary about it too. It's like I remember, like, I think it was episode 2. I think we were talking about talking about education with AI and how my work was kind of like being generated as 60%. What was it? 50, 60% AI? 60?
60.
Yeah. I remember this was back in episode 2 we filmed about this. Now we're bringing it back again about this discussion, but this time it's about creativity here. Human creativity being mimicked by AI. And this is due to the fact that the tool is well trained, well developed. The AI model itself is well developed. And I even mentioned this too in episode 1 about how potentially graphic design roles, artist roles can be taken away in terms of the job market because of AI. We're seeing that based on Jacky's situation. It seems it's already happening. But my question is just like, well, not really a question. My thought process kind of like, then does this mean that graphic designing artists are going to go extinct? Certainly, I hope not, because I 100% don't believe that AI can mimic a traditional hand style art. Because like it's different from using an actual paint and a pen and pencil and paint to create an art than using a digital tool to create art. Because let's face it here, even if there's a bunch of softwares and programs that can actually do art similar to how you can do it on paper, I would 100% choose the paper art over the digital art, probably because of the authenticity of it, the tradition, and more importantly, just keeping it real. Like it feels more real to see that than it is to feel digitally. Not saying digital is bad, but I just don't feel real about it. But AI seems like it's making things somewhat not real. And now, if we're talking about games here, gosh, if one day a game is 100% made by AI, and I heard rumors about it too, for a PlayStation game, I wonder what would the experience like when we get there. Because I don't know what an AI game feels like. I haven't played it yet. I don't even know what the game is. I'll be interested to see what the game will become when I play on the PlayStation. Because, like, seriously, like, it's scary, but at the same time, it's like, all right, how about this? It's like, it's not only is it dangerous, in danger, not only is it scary, but it questions human ethics too. The tradition of being a human being, and the fun of it too. Just saying.
No, yeah, that goes along the lines of the passion. I feel like if you're passionate about something, you pour your love into it, and it tastes like it looks, feels, and seems completely different from something from the AI, which has no passion, no feelings into it. I've watched several like cooking shows too, and you can see it when you pour your love into something, it shows, right? We're pouring our love into our video game, and I feel like it shows, Jacky, right? You and me, you could be wrong about that, right? Like we're pouring our love into this game, and we're doing the best we can because we like games and we want to see this one succeed, right?
Yes. Well, about Ryan's concern, though, I do understand him. I do also agree with Fabian, but here's my stand of view. It actually had to do with how far the artificial intelligence has gone. We're all seeing, those future videos or, near future videos where it's like Android that look exactly like human before, right? So if it got to a point that it's high artificial intelligence where it could be as human, I would say there's not really much difference between them and humans by that point because they have their own thought processes, memories, and they could educate themselves. That's one thing. But if we're talking about lower stands where they don't have like an actual thought in mind, well, although it will not eliminate fully the passionate people, however, it will discourage many of people who's on their path because they will have to have much more effort put in to get anything rewarded until they actually succeed. Before they actually succeed, the AI will take up majority of the field, and then you won't get much feedbacks from as positive. That actually discourage people.
That's actually really, really true. Thanks. Very fast. That actually goes back to the education too, right, Ryan? About our previous episode about education.
It was like what
If
3 episodes ago we talked about it, and then like it's
exactly
scary. It's very scary. It's so connected to what we talked about then, and then now. Just the creativity itself, like
right,
it sounds
the
like
education.
yeah, right. Like just like it's like it seems like we keep talking about how scary AI is, but we don't talk much about how AI is really reshaping our lives. Like I talked about how like during that second episode, I talked about how like AI was so useful for me when it comes to like doing research paper. The way you look at games, y'all say that it's a good assistant tool, and you know what? I firmly believe that. But remember, Jacky, you weren't here for that because I remember this in the second episode. I mentioned somewhere. I think Phoebe, you mentioned something how like AI is becoming like a crutch.
Hmm.
Well, wouldn't this mean game developers are going to use AI tools as a crutch too?
It can feel like that. It definitely can feel like that. Um, we just hope that it doesn't come to that. That's all I can say. We just hope that it doesn't come to that. But the way that AI is going, it's literally starting to feel like a crutch,
But do you guys have any
right?
positives? Because like it seems like we talk bad about it, but I feel like there's a lot. But I feel like there's going to be lots of good things about AI that we can all look forward to.
Well,
I can say something about it. I mean,
yeah, Jackie was
um,
before, so
yeah, in this case, I thought that if, for example, back to the example you gave, AI can take over 90% of our workload, and then we could just develop game on our own. This has a positive effect on encourage people to develop, because more and more people will feel, hey, it's easier to make a game. I want to make a game of my own, or I too could make a game, and that will actually makes it into the field of um, populating more people who to jump in this field and try to make more games. The only problem might be the similarity of the work because of their resource used. But other than that, I think that's at least a positive fact. As gamer, we obviously like to see more games. More games usually means there's gonna be one or two or even more that stands out compared to others because they're all trying to aim for difference.
yeah. To add to that, most of all the games now have some similarity to one another. Power World and Pokemon, right? Digimon and Pokemon. Um, what else? Like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, right? Those are all similar to a certain aspect. Um, but as Jackie was saying, like if the workload is taken up by 90% by AI, yeah, it is easier. We us two as game developers actually see the struggle. We thought it was gonna be at least a little bit easy. We didn't think it would be that challenging, right? Us, we had some coding knowledge. We could probably jump into it easily, but no, it was a little bit harder than we expected. So we were glad to have AI to help us. So that's the positive of it, right? I think overall, you just want to make sure your mindset is clear. You have your passion for the type of game you want, and maybe push AI in that direction to help you make your ideas into reality.
Yeah, like I actually like Jackie's thought process here because the AI tool encouraging popularity, yeah, I can see that happening. But there's also one thing we're missing here: competition. It will extremely bring up more competition. So it's kind of like one man's like an odd man's out situation. So if AI can encourage everyone to develop games, how a fierce of a competition? Because remember, you're going against if you're a person, a game developer that just got into it using AI tools as your assistant, bringing you to an advantage. But remember this: you're competing against traditional game developers that will find a way to break you and beat you, and that's your challenge. But
I agree. Um, please keep going. Sorry.
But as I was saying, that challenges does not go away. But it really comes down to y'all's like perspective here. It's like, would this continue your passion, despite the fact that it's easier than to work, even though you have to deal with the big horse?
Well, here comes the view of why you're making game. So some people are making it for money, understandable. In fact, that's a big encouragement, right? Some people, however, are making it for passion. If AI got to a point that everyone could just make games on their spare time, it'll become a part-time job. Those who like it will keep making it. Those who earn money on it already will keep making it. Those who cannot, however, sustain this pressure of competing and try to earn money, or no positive feedback coming in, will be eliminated. Unfortunately, that's gonna be how it's like. But considering how it is right now, the field is those companies who already made many games are taking over the majority of the monies of the players, and it's not that much of a difference, honestly. If you're gonna say, in the future, everyone's making games. I mean, those people who's gonna be passionate about it just keep making it because the fact that now they could spend less time and less resource, and they could still making their spare times.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Well, let's see here. We're closing in on our time for this episode. It was great hearing all this information about AI and gaming and the impact of AI on game making. Stay tuned in for our next episode. We'll be talking about some more, impacts of AI on various fields. I believe it's music next, but stay tuned for that episode and see when it comes out. But in the meantime, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment down your thoughts or any topics you want us to talk about in our future episodes. Till then, keep doing what you're passionate about. Try not to let AI take over your entire life.
That's right.
Oh yeah, thank you, Jacky, for joining in as a special guest for our, this episode. It was great having you. Till then, see you guys.
All right. Peace.
Peace.